The BOOreau Boys is an improvised detective serial. Every Monday morning, the BOOreau Boys solve crimes based on clues sent in by their Pumpkinformants. That's you. Go to theBOOreauBoys.com to submit your clues. When we last left the BOOreau Boys, they had been interrogating one Catholic school teacher named Gerno Suzietz.
Gerno told the boys a very big secret about the truth of the local doctor, Dr. Cornelius. That truth was, narrator?
That truth was, first of all, just wondering if you might be interested in going to the New York-style deli sometime later this afternoon. Secondly, that secret was that Dr. Emily Cornelius is the illegitimate daughter of Gloria Greenwich and Johnny Greenwich. So the BOOreau Boys decided to pay a visit to Dr. Emily Cornelius.
But before they go into the doctor's office, they need a little time to make sure they know what the heck is going on here.
Why don't they ask you, Dr. Sigmund Freud?
We go now to the boys.
One boy, two boys.
I should also mention that this week's clue is brought to you by Informant Bridget. The clue is lamb.
Okay, Detective Riley, before we go in, something's been bothering me about this case ever since we figured out that Dr. Emily Cornelius is the daughter of Gloria Greenwich and Johnny Greenwich.
Right, yeah, they banged under the bleachers at that baseball game in high school.
Detective Riley, I'm a scientist. I know how babies are made, okay?
Yes?
They banged, and then 13 months later, a stork came and dropped off Dr. Emily Cornelius. I know, Detective Riley.
You were close, but it's actually 11 months.
Oh, okay. Thank you for the correction. Okay, so, Detective Riley, here's my problem with this. If Gloria Greenwich and Johnny Greenwich are so in love with one another that they hooked up and they've been living together. The parakeets told us that they at least are still living together. So maybe they're in a loveless marriage or something like that, but at least they are together. So Johnny Greenwich, we know, or we think, was one of the early victims of this Tasteful Cabinet. He had his baseball career ended by the Tasteful Cabinet. Remember, he had leg problems?
Yes. Hold on. Let me get out my whiteboard just to connect all the dots here as we're standing here.
Do you want to borrow my red yarn? I actually texted the Uber driver, and he dropped off all my equipment, so I've got it all back.
Even the gun?
Oh, I forgot because it was in the glove compartment.
I still have the bullets.
Okay. Oh, thank goodness.
So Detective Riley takes out this foldable whiteboard, expands it on the sidewalk, erases the grid markers and football plays he was working on secretly.
Detective Riley, I guess you've already erased them. I hope you committed them with your photographic memory to memory, because we do have intramural football season coming up soon.
Ah, dang. Unfortunately, I only have an audiographic memory, as you know, so whatever I saw is just completely wiped clean.
Okay, well, let me tell you what I can remember. XXXXOO looks like an I, and then equals sign XXOOOO.
Right, and the O's have a couple circles around them with arrows pointing around the X's, with a few of those X's with arrows pointing through the O's, and a big football in the middle.
See, you do remember. Okay, Detective Riley, so here's my point. Do you think that Gloria Greenwich knew about this Tasteful Cabinet? Here's what I'm proposing, Detective Riley. Let me just say this. Johnny Greenwich and Gloria Greenwich had their little tryst that eventually led to Dr. Emily Cornelius, okay?
Yes.
Johnny and Gloria are in love. Johnny's this rising baseball star, this rising minor league baseball star. Yes, he's had one bad high school inning pitching or whatever it was. Was it high school? High school.
Yeah, it was pretty sure it was high school.
That's right. Yeah. That's when people were having sex, right, Detective Riley? Hey, by the way,
that's the last. Oh yeah, sure.
You're not allowed by the high school anymore. I got another notice from the principal.
If the school isn't going to enforce safe sex, who is? Who is in this town? Okay, there's only, and as far as I see, there's only one man that can do it.
Okay, Detective Riley, we don't have time to get into that. Here's my point. Johnny Greenwich, rising baseball star, right? In love with this presumably at one point beautiful Gloria Greenwich, because the baseball players always pull the hottest tail, right?
Right. Well, she was also the drug dealer, so that might have something to do with it. But it's neither here nor there.
That's right. Okay, so why is Johnny Greenwich, in our theory, afflicted with one of these cases of the Tasteful Cabinet? My theory is, Detective Riley, neither Gloria Greenwich nor Johnny Greenwich knew that the Tasteful Cabinet was what the Tasteful Cabinet is. So they moved into this house. Johnny, first one to open this Tasteful Cabinet, has this horrible affliction with his legs that ends his baseball career, and Gloria and Johnny go mad with revenge. Yeah? Is that the whole case? Are we done? Do we even need to go into the clinic?
Yeah, I think you're pretty close. Let's just, let me say that. So, you're telling me that this Tasteful Cabinet is some form of ancient evil locked inside of this barred up house. Gloria and Johnny, they move in, sweethearts, thinking they're gonna start their life and settle down in a nice town. Johnny opens that cabinet, ruins his baseball career. Gloria might have, what if she opened the cabinet and became the witch? Because before she was just a good-hearted drug dealer like myself. And then after opening the cabinet...
You did help Ray Stanberry with his issues.
Yeah. She became the opposite, which is a mad woman afflicted with this
mental illness.
Right. Yes, exactly. So instead of uplifting the townspeople, she has brought them down. You know, she's a real downer now. And by downer, she's hurting people badly.
That is absolutely brilliant, Detective Riley. Can I tell you one more layer of this?
Yes, layer it on. I'm cheesy, baby.
You know how I told you, in every town we go to, including the town that we live in, which is this town, which we won't mention?
Exactly.
I study historical records, the land records of the whole town, and let me tell you what I found. The day before Johnny Greenwich, it was announced that his legs no longer worked and his minor league career was over.
Yeah.
Guess whose names are on the deed of the old house on Elm Street the day before?
The day before
Johnny Greenwich's legs had been ruined. The day before. Guess whose names are... Do you need me to count down from...
Yeah.
I feel like this one's pretty obvious, Detective Riley. I'll just tell you. Gloria Greenwich and Johnny Greenwich had just bought that house on Elm Street the day before Johnny's legs went splat.
Right, because they moved into the house and then opened the cabinets.
That's what
Or the Tasteful Cabinet.
Wow. Yes, good, Detective Riley.
I think we're all on the same page.
I thought you'd be able to get the first part. The second part of moving in is super easy for that to figure. You know what, Detective Riley, it's fine.
Hey, I'm piecing the dots together. I've written it all down on this whiteboard. I think my X's and O's make it pretty clear. I know what's going on.
Do you want me to read it out loud so you can commit it to memory?
Of course.
XOX. Oh, Detective Riley, are you just... That's just like hugs and kisses to me.
Yeah, because I just love your theories. And dang it if you're the best detective this side of our town.
You're selling yourself short. Okay, Detective Riley, any further thoughts about this case before we go inside?
Nope.
So the BOOreau Boys enter into the clinic. They ring that bell at the counter, for no one is there. From behind blood-red curtains pokes the face of a beautiful young doctor.
Excuse me, ma'am. My partner and I are looking for a Dr. Cornelius.
Yes, I'm Dr. Cornelius. What's the matter, boys? Did you both get kicked in the head or something? What?
What?
No.
This is how...
Detective
These
Riley,
are
quick
faces.
Sidebar.
Yeah, of course.
Have you ever been kicked in the head?
I mean, yeah, I've had a few schoolyard brawls, sure.
Yes, I've been kicked in the head by riot police at least 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, and I mean, that was like a main form of discipline between my mother and I.
Okay, but let's go with the narrative that we have not been kicked in the heads, okay?
Of course.
No, ma'am. I'm sorry. No, Dr. Ma'am. No need to call me doctor. Just ma'am is okay.
That's very suspicious. You worked very hard to get that DR in front of your name, did you not?
I also worked very hard to explode out of my mother's womb and come into this world. Good point, ma'am.
Speaking of your mother, ma'am, Cornelius, we have a few questions about her. Your mother is Gloria Greenwich, is she not?
Dr. Emily Cornelius shifts her eyes back and forth.
Who did you say you were?
I'm Detective Riley. This is my partner, Detective Potter. And don't think you can jump out of that open window in your office that I can see through this hallway.
And don't think you can just run out this front door into the great wide open, into that car that seems to be idling right outside these sliding doors.
And don't think we didn't notice. Your bags are already packed, and you've clearly fired all of your employees at this doctor's office because you were worried that we're on your case.
And don't think that we didn't notice that the license plate of the car that those bags are thrown into is CRNLEEUS.
And don't think that we don't know you have a special connection at the DMV to get vanity plates like that. You're very well connected. That's clear enough to us.
And don't think that we have already contacted your travel agent and know that you have booked one-way trip to Acapulco. Well, oh, you have more?
Detective Potter, quick sidebar.
What? Yeah, go on.
Most of what I said, I didn't know before I said it.
I didn't either.
It's just all spur of consciousness right now.
Yeah, but it seems like she's... How did you guys find out about the bags and the employees and the ticket to Acapulco? Excuse us just 1 second, ma'am.
We're having a sidebar right now.
Quick sidebar.
Yes.
Holy shit, it all worked.
It's worked. I can't even believe it worked. Some kind of like weird ESP, like you're picking up things, I'm picking up things. We're really shucking and jiving right now.
Remember Detective Riley last night in the office when I was like, do you think we should actually do some research into like the background of all these things? And instead we played Mario Kart for 6 hours?
Yeah. Thinking like, the research will get done eventually. You did. It got done right now.
The research would have been such a waste of time, Detective Riley.
Okay. Yeah, we're like A students that never study, you know?
Yes, and sidebar.
Okay.
So... it's true then. You are the daughter of the Greenwiches. Yes? You just said that you knew all that, so why are you asking me?
We do know that. Sorry, my partner is stating it as an affirmative. We do know that. And we also know that you're involved in one hell of a dastardly conspiracy in our town.
Well, that's just conjecture. There's no way of proving anything.
You've been colluding with your mother to afflict these townspeople with very unfortunate maladies, and we know you're writing scripts, and we know those scripts aren't getting filled, and we know you're in on it.
In on what? Where are you getting this information? We got it from Gerbo, Julian. It doesn't matter. Gerno Suziette.
Gerno Suziette.
No, just Gerno Suziette. You always want...
Gerno.
I know we did have the case of the missing with the marionette, but it's not Garionette. It's just Gary. No.
It's Garionette Suzinamos.
Oh, are you talking about Garionette Suzinamos from Greektown?
If he's also a third grade teacher of history, then
no.
Yes.
Oh, you mean Gerno Suziette. There are two Gers Suzinamoses in this town, as you know. So which one?
We know. It's the second one.
Okay, the grade school teacher, I get it. Mr. Gerno Suziette. What do you want to know about us?
About you two.
Detective Riley, quick sidebar.
Yes, of course.
I think we just backed our way into some new information on this one, too.
Gerno didn't tell us the whole truth.
No.
He was squirming his way out of this one. What?
Okay.
Let's get back to
and
it.
Sidebar.
Yes, and sidebar. Yes, ma'am, Cornelius, we are talking about what you and Gerno have been working together in some capacity. We know that for sure.
Well,
what we really want is a confession. That would help us out a lot.
Detective Riley, quick sidebar.
Oh, sure.
Remember, we only get 3 wishes, so are you sure you want to burn? Are you sure you want to burn the first one on this? A confession from this? She's like the consigliere. We want the Don.
Right. Okay. I take back my wish, ma'am Cornelius.
No, it's too late. I'll confess the whole thing. Yes.
Okay, well, that's good. I mean, that's pretty good.
Now remember, you only have but 2 wishes left.
I hate these doctor rules.
I told you, Detective Riley. Yes, Guerno, Suzette, and I were having a steamy love affair.
He's like 79. And you're clearly, I don't know, 27?
Yeah, and I have to say, ma'am, you are extraordinarily attractive to both me and to my partner.
Yeah, please, Detective Potter. Next time, don't wear sweatpants.
Well, on the flip side of that is the bike shorts that you're wearing, Detective Riley, and they're not helping either. Good
thing we're keeping our distance from each other and from Ma'am Cornelius. But that's neither here nor there. Boners aside, ma'am, the affair is not what's important here. What's important are the townspeople and what you're doing to them. Now, we need to know where your mother is. Where's your mother, young lady?
Boys, I'm a simple doctor. I have people come in with maladies, and I write them prescriptions. What they do with those prescriptions beyond this? Hey, is it my fault that all of the pharmacies within a 50-mile radius mysteriously burned down in the last 20 years? Is it my fault that all of the doctors in town mysteriously died of ailments within the last 20 years? Hey, yeah, maybe that helps my business. Maybe that helps my mother's business. But all of these are coincidences.
Ma'am Cornelius approaches the BOOreau Boys seductively and starts stroking their faces seductively.
Detective Potter, I'm being seduced.
It's like a siren spell, Detective Riley.
I don't know how long I can stand it.
As the BOOreau Boys are entranced by Ma'am Cornelius, she sneakily ties their boners together.
Much like a Chinese finger trap, but in this case, a dick trap.
Yes, when I say tied together, she sort of put one inside the other one.
Kind of like an uncircumcised penis bear trap.
Were you not happy with the analogy of Chinese finger trap?
I wanted to up the stakes, because we are not only trapped, but in some slight pain.
The narrators realize that they also have been tied together, but this time by their sonorous voices.
After affixing the 2 detectives' cocks in one, Ma'am Cornelius slips out the front door, locking it behind her, and jumps in her car, driving away.
Toward the airport.
God,
that siren.
This is arguably the worst situation we've been in, Detective Riley. I know at one point we were in a room filling with acid, but this is bad.
This is really bad. There's gotta be some kind of escape latch on here.
Okay, Detective Riley, here's what I'm thinking. Do you remember Gwendolyn Benefif, the witch from that case we worked about the marionettes?
Of course.
Yes. Were you at all attracted to her?
Oh, no, she was very ugly.
Yes, she was a witch, right? So,
right.
If we both just think about Gwendolyn and Benefif.
Yeah. It's really hard because
it is really hard, Detective Riley. That's the problem.
It's too hard. Yeah, right. Okay. Let's soften him up.
So, the BOOreau Boys roll their eyes back in their heads and think of the spooky witch, Gwendolyn Benefif.
They see her boils, her puscules, her stringy hair and long nails and scratchy voice.
The boys' excitement starts to subside, and they're able to move apart.
Oh, good job, Detective Riley. We did it.
Wow.
We should put these away.
Yeah, clean up on aisle 69. Okay, that's my only joke for the day.
Okay, now you've wasted one of our wishes and one of our jokes, Detective Riley. Anything else you want to waste before we get out of here? Because, by the way, she's getting away.
I know she's getting away, but we can't just flee yet. This place is full of clues, and there's something about that lamp in the corner that's catching my eye.
Detective...
No, you go.
Who, me? Because I was about to interject.
Go ahead, narrator. Interject.
First of all, in case anyone cares, the other narrator and I were able to free ourselves while the BOOreau Boys were untwining their dicks.
Yes. Just so you know, we're also here. We're free. We're okay.
Don't you hate that nobody ever asks about us?
Yes.
Okay, well, so Detective Potter turns his head in the direction of the lamp that Detective Riley has pointed out. Detective Potter walks over to the lamp. Detective Riley is right. The lamp appears to have been shattered and re-glued time and time again. Detective Potter lifts the lamp over his head and smashes it to the ground. Among the pieces of the lamp is a moth-shaped note.
Detective Potter!
This can't be.
There's no way.
No, absolutely no way that these cases are interconnected.
But let's be clear. There is some strange and dark magic afoot.
Just as Detective Riley says that, the waiting room fills with the Muzak version of the Gin Blossoms Follow You Down.
No way, Detective Riley.
I am spooked more than I've ever been.
I refuse to even accept that this is a real thing.
The BOOreau Boys look over to the TV in the corner of the waiting room, which is playing an episode of South Park.
What? Detective Riley, no. This is, I feel like I'm in a dream. This is like the end of The Usual Suspects.
Yes, all of our past case elements are coming to fruition right here in front of us.
Okay, Detective Riley, are you going to read the note or you want me to?
I'll read the note.
So Detective Riley scoops the note up carefully not to cut himself on the broken glass.
Or the paper.
For this moth note is very thin. Okay.
You okay? You want to borrow my gloves? I got everything back from the trunk.
Yeah, if you could. Just the paper cut gloves will do.
Yeah, here you go.
So Detective Riley affixes the thick leather paper cut gloves onto his hands to read the note.
Yeah, good. Clear your throat first. Real loud.
Now, let's remember, this lamp was broken many times.
Yes.
And so
whatever's in there means that they wanted to get it out and put it back in and get it out and put it back in, but it still needed to be hidden.
Then for some reason, someone keeps smashing this lamp and then getting the note and then putting the note back in the lamp, putting it all back together again.
That's a good point.
Right. Anyway, here's the note.
Okay, good. I'm ripe with anticipation.
It says, my dearest Emily.
You know, I could maybe have Ma'am Cornelius write you a prescription for some cough syrup if you got a little frog in your throat, Detective Riley.
No. I'm clear.
Oh, no.
I'm fine. All right. Okay. Anyway, my dearest Emily, you better do what needs to be done to this town, or else you're next.
Why do you think they had to keep smashing that? I mean, that's such a simple... Wait, Detective Riley, on the back.
Oh!
There are GPS coordinates. And if my studying of the maps of this town is accurate...
Yes?
Those GPS coordinates lead right back to our office.
Because our office is in the very center of town, so that we are equidistant to any location we need to go.
Yes.
And that's important because I believe... Let me lay this theory down on you,
okay.
Detective Potter.
Yes.
I believe, since this note says, my dearest Emily...
we need to finish out in this town.
Yeah. It's because... right. Hold on. Let me back up.
Was there more to the note? I can't see that side. I can only see the side you're holding up to me that has these GPS coordinates.
Of course. This is the back of the note. Let me flip it back around. Because it says that you better do what we need, what needs to be done, right?
Yes.
Because, right? And I think what's happening here, I think they're trying to take this whole town down.
Are you still reading the note, or are you just assuming what the note is saying?
I'm conjecturing right now.
Okay, but who could have written this note, Detective Riley? Why would these GPS coordinates lead us to our own off? Detective Riley, you don't think they're heading for our office, do you?
We're the only ones that can stop them, and they knew we were on their trail.
Oh my God, Detective Riley. But they only knew that we were on their trail just when we talked to Dr. Emily Cornelius.
Nah, we talked to Garno Suziette, who is porking Dr. Emily Cornelius for some weird reason. And, well, not weird, obviously. There are many reasons.
She's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to wife her down, but I don't understand why she's, getting with him. Like, it really just doesn't.
But Detective Riley, on the flip side of that, that was just earlier today, and this lamp clearly has been smashed and reformed many, many times. So, weasel your way out of that one, Detective Riley.
Right. They're going to our place. Something needs to be done. And clearly Emily is being compelled. I believe her mother wrote this. I believe it was written by Gloria Greenwich.
Hold up, Detective Riley, before you keep going down this path. Do you still do that thing where you read everything upside down?
Oh, of course. Yeah, that's the only way I can read.
God damn it, Detective Riley. These aren't coordinates to our office. They're upside down. Detective Riley, I don't know where these are coordinates to, but I think we should just put them into your GPS. You still have it, right? Are you sure you don't want me to write you a script for some cough medicine? We're in a hospital. I'm taking this prescription pad, and I'm writing you one.
All right. Fine. We'll find the nearest doctor within the next 50 plus miles to get it filled. Yes, I still have my GPS.
Not to split hairs, Detective Riley, but we need to find a pharmacy. I'm going to write the doctor's script. We need to find a pharmacy.
Oh, right. I figured we would need another doctor to actually sign off on the script you wrote, so that a pharmacy would take it since you're not a doctor.
I'm going to forge her signature, Detective Riley. Come on.
Oh, right. Yeah, you're right. We're just detectives. We can break the law.
I'm surprised you weren't the one that wanted this prescription pad more than I did with your underlying second business, I should say.
Yes, of course I'm going to resell all of the cough syrup that I don't use to some of the local rappers that I know. We're gonna lean hard. But that's not what's important right now. What's important is the GPS. And now, let's be clear, I don't have a actual electronic GPS, but I do have 10 fingers and 10 toes. And when I put these bad boys together, I can count us toward our destination.
Fine, let's get to the car.
So the BOOreau Boys dashed through the front door because it had been locked. But it was one of those glass front doors. So they just smashed right through it, like the Hulk.
And rushed back to their vehicle, which was not parked outside because they walked here, but was parked in front of Gloria Greenwich's house.
It's a good thing it hadn't been parked there, for all of the tires in the lot had been slashed.
Because Dr. Emily Cornelius was not going to take any chances.
And as she had been driving away, she just rolled down her window and held a scalpel out and drove by and slashed all the tires. So the BOOreau Boys rush back to their car and take off down the street.
Will Detective Riley be able to use his magical finger and toes GPS to find the exact location on the moth-shaped note?
Are his fingers the same as those ear fingers that the BOOreau Boys were using earlier? Or are these navigation fingers?
Where is Emily Cornelius going, and what must be done?
How did the BOOreau Boys surmise so much with so little information?
Maybe they're good detectives, narrator.
Or maybe the thing that the BOOreau Boys got from the cabinet that was the exact opposite of the thing that happens to them was they got better at being detectives?
Tune in next time to find out the answers to these questions and more on the case
of the Tasteful Cabinet. Did you forget it?
Thank you for picking up where I left off.
No problem. Ooh.